There is a feeling here that may have been difficult for you to explain. You may have noticed the little things, the way he looks at you and then looks away, the moments when he seems unusually attentive, or the sudden distance that appears just when you feel the connection becoming stronger. And if you have been wondering, am I imagining this, or is something actually changing between us, this reading speaks directly to that uncertainty. What I'm picking up is that his feelings may be developing in a way he did not completely expect. There is attraction here, but it feels deeper than simple physical interest. Something about you has begun to affect him emotionally, and that is precisely what may be making him more cautious. He may be trying to maintain control. Perhaps he tells himself to take things slowly. Perhaps he has convinced himself that showing too much would make him vulnerable. There could even be moments when he intentionally acts less interested than he actually is, simply because he does not want you to know how much space you are beginning to occupy in his thoughts. But emotions have a way of revealing themselves through behavior. You may notice that he remembers small details you mentioned casually. He may find reasons to check in, watch what you are doing, or stay connected even when there is no obvious reason to. Sometimes the strongest clue is not what someone says, but what they consistently make an effort to do. There is another layer here, though. It feels as though part of him is wrestling with the consequences of admitting what he feels. He may be asking himself whether this connection could become something real, whether you feel the same way, and whether moving closer would change the relationship between you. That uncertainty could explain mixed signals. One day, he may seem warm, open, and almost ready to reveal himself. Then suddenly, he pulls back. That doesn't necessarily mean the feelings disappeared. In fact, the opposite may be happening. The closer he feels to acknowledging them, the more aware he becomes of what is at stake. And this is where the energy begins to shift. There seems to be a growing realization within him that pretending not to care is becoming harder. He may have originally believed he could keep everything contained, but emotions that continue to grow eventually demand some kind of response. I also sense that he is becoming increasingly curious about how you feel about him. He may be looking for reassurance without directly asking for it. He could be watching your reactions, noticing whether you initiate conversations, remembering how you respond when he gets closer, or quietly trying to determine whether there is a safe opening for him to express more. There is tenderness underneath the hesitation. This does not feel like someone who has completely figured everything out. It feels more like someone gradually becoming honest with himself. And that distinction matters, because feelings becoming stronger does not automatically mean someone is immediately ready to act on them. The possibility here is that communication becomes more revealing over time. A conversation could become more personal. A guarded person could begin sharing something he normally keeps private. A small gesture could carry more emotional meaning than expected. So if you have been sensing that something is different, you may not be imagining the change. But don't feel that you have to chase an answer from him. Let his actions show you what words may not yet be ready to say. You deserve clarity that comes willingly, not affection that has to be pulled out of someone. The deeper message is about patience and self-worth. Something may be growing beneath the surface, but your role is not to force it into existence. Allow him the space to recognize what he feels, while you remain grounded in what you deserve. And if this connection is meant to move forward, it should gradually become clearer, not more confusing. For now, trust what you observe, trust your intuition, and most importantly, don't shrink yourself while waiting for someone else to become brave enough to acknowledge their feelings. Sometimes the heart speaks quietly before the mouth ever finds the courage to say, "I feel this too."